Hey, how's it going? What's going on? This is BG back again with another episode of the Boxing Politic. Here to talk about the state of affairs in boxing, whatever news comes up. Today, I want to talk about no fighter in particular, but something that I heard. I actually heard it initially on the PBC podcast. I went over there and listened to. It was an older episode. I went and listened to it, and they were, and it kind of just slipped in. They were talking about instant replay in boxing, that the state of Nevada has adapted that. They've adopted instant replay, and I looked into it, and it turns out they actually had it before, back in 2008 as well. Not 2008, but 2011. They initially did it. It was just for fouls, just to determine if a foul was committed, things like that. It wouldn't have overruled, or a knockout. So if a knockout happened, they wanted to make sure, just like a touchdown in football, how every touchdown was reviewed, every knockout would have got reviewed, and fouls. But now it seems that they're doing something I believe is extreme with it. You know, is very the way they're handling it is not the best. Like I'm all for instant replay in boxing, because I think that hits behind the head, if there's a knockdown based on that, you can't give them those extra points. If a slip is counted as a knockdown, you know, that's made the difference in fights. If knockdowns were missed, that's made the difference in fights. So none called knockdown, so I can dig that. But what they're actually doing is, the way we can just talk about first the way it's set up. So there's gonna be a new official. They have a instant replay official who will flash a yellow light. So the light goes on, the referee takes the fighters, puts them to their neutral corners, and then they review the instant replay. That right there is a huge problem. I mean, you're stopping the action. They didn't say they wait for a lull in the action. It's whenever that light comes on. They also have the referee able to make that call. He or she can call for an instant replay. The light comes on. They do that. They make sure that they go over the tape. Now, in all this time, these fighters are getting rest. What if someone's strategy is to put that pressure on them to tire a fighter out? You're giving them a break to review a play, to review the play pretty much. And think about it. Rounds last about 3 minutes. If you're reviewing something in a fight, they got it going slow-mo, you get at least the time that it takes for that event to have occurred. And you probably have it about looking at it from different angles. How long does an instant replay in football last? Whenever the challenge flag is thrown, that lasts about 1 or 2 minutes, maybe even longer. So what you're giving fighters a break, and the referee has the right to call it. The ringside official has the right to call it. So what does that mean for an A-side fighter? What if an A-side fighter gets knocked down? We already know the A-side gets benefits because we know they pay the bills. They are the ones who are paying the judges. They pay the referees. They pay pretty much everyone. And people know where their bread is buttered, man. They know that the A-side, they know who the house fighter is, and when things go slippery, you err on the side of A side, you know. You err on the side of A, for real. So you're gonna see some of these referees making calls like, oh, okay, he got knocked down, he looking bad. They're gonna make a call to make sure that hit was legal. Make sure it wasn't a foul. Make sure it was a good knockdown. And that's gonna give these A-side fighters a little bit more time to be on their feet, to get your breather, and get back into the action. That's what I predict. So this opens up way too many lanes for corruption. If they wanted to do it correctly, the best way to go about it would be review at the end of the round. Review it during the breaks. Like, okay, we put on the yellow the yellow light at 1 minute 12 seconds into the fourth round. So you put that to the side. You know what time you need to, what the time step you need to look at, or you could send it to somebody else to be reviewing it as the round goes on. Now it can change the score. Then you can, like, okay, if there was ruled a knockdown, you send that information down to the judges and to the referee, like, okay, that wasn't a knockdown, it was a slip, or okay, that was a knockdown, so we're gonna change the course of that round. You know, you can do it after the round, do it in between the rounds, and if it leads to a knockout, don't immediately call a knockout. You know, a knockout, you got time, because the fighter's on the ground, the fighter's been counted out or whatever. You got a second to review that, you know, and then you could call it as you have to. But to do a break in the action, that changes strategies. Like, some fighters have that strategy of taking them into deep waters. What if the other fighter decides, okay, I'm gonna pretend I got hit low, or got head butted or something like that, and the referee is yellow flag and yellow card, yellow light, whatever we gonna call that, and giving them that break just because they gassed. Look with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. In the second fight, Ward's intention was to keep going to the body, tire him out, and get him out of there that way. Here's what he did. He tired him out by going to the body. His hands dropped, and he was able to catch him with that right hand over the top that hurt Sergey real bad, and he finished him on off to the body. So I'm not a fan of how they're doing it. I like the idea, you know, and that's the thing that gets me. It's like, there's good intentions behind it. I really believe that, but you know, the road to hell is paved in good intentions, and that's what we're gonna see if this isn't implemented correctly. So hopefully, when the rollout does occur, it looks like they're planning on doing it soon, because I'm seeing articles in ESPN. Like I said, I heard it on the PBC podcast that this is something that they're aiming to do. If they're gonna do it, you got to do it right. I know the hiccups come, mistakes come with it. Anything you do different, I'm doing this. This is a different thing for me, and I'll see what mistakes I'm making. I made mistakes already that I'm improving off of. So I know that it's just more of that at the higher levels, and we need to see, we need to see it rolled out as best as possible, and they'll smooth out the little bumps in the road later. But for right now, you can't do a stop in the action. That's the main thing they need to avoid. That might be something that you got down now, but you can't implement that. But that was it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Y'all keep rocking with me on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. Support me, and we're gonna keep that going. I'll talk to you next time.